things back here.
Is it okay? We good?
Yep.
Are we live?
Sit on.
Are we live?
Yep, we're live soon.
Cool. About this little technical difficulties, but we are here for the exciting conclusion, second half here for Greens Farms against Hopkins. It looks like it's been a really great game, fiery game. And there you go, a lot of goals scored so far, and we'll see if the Dragons can continue to get the work. Like I said, we apologize for not being able to capture the beginning of this one, but we were having some computer problems, and that's to put it lightly. Right, Isaac?
Absolutely, yeah. We just had some technical difficulties, but we're glad we're getting the second half for you in this really awesome game. It's been 7 goals for the Dragons, 5 goals for the Hilltoppers, and looks to shape up to be a really close one. We'll see the action in the second half.
And we'll see if the Dragons can top this hill.
Absolutely.
As the Dragons continue to go now, we'll see if they can put goal number 8 on the board. Here's a long shot. Nice save in net. Trying to get to this one, and it looks like the Dragons able to escape some traffic. Fires it off, hits right off the stick. Foot race for the ball as a flag comes up, and looks like this one's going back to the Dragons. So I believe this will be freshman leader Max Yates' first appearance, I guess, starting for the Dragons on a GSPN broadcast. Good to see him back on the field.
Absolutely, yeah. What fantastic player on the field, really great senior leader too, and has been battling some injuries lately and over the past couple of years, but it's been great to see him back on the field. Really that spark that GFA needs at times on defense, and he can get it done on the field, and he's really such a great player.
He's just got that ferocious nature about him. It's not a surprise to see him back on the field. And see if he can make the most of his opportunity here in the second half. Definitely has that long shot ability. That's a pretty hard shot too. Let's see what the Dragons can do now, getting set up after the flag. Definitely the closest game, I think, score-wise, of the whole season.
Absolutely, and especially this late into the game. Usually when we're covering the girls' games, it's long gone by now in the double digits for GFA. But this one's a lot closer. Only a 2-goal difference, and both teams look like they're pretty evenly matched. Obviously, we weren't able to see the first couple of minutes with the first half, really. Weren't able to catch that on camera. But look, from the score and from the way these two teams have been playing, they look to be pretty evenly matched, so it should be a pretty good game.
What a save in net! Again, we talked about how Yates could shoot the ball from long distance, and he did just that. A great save in net, though. And the Hilltoppers able to escape their dangerous pass as they fling this one into the neutral zone. It is not intercepted by the Dragons, but it is going to be picked up by Jack Grills. We'll fling this one inside of the neutral zone. A flag comes out. Delayed penalty on the way.
Sir, can you step away from the camera? Sir?
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Can you step away from the camera?
Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
You can stand over there too,
closer.
if that's cool. All right, cool. All right. Thanks, man. So the Dragons now have a nice opportunity. Sorry about that, folks.
Nice opportunity to try to generate some offense. They look pretty solid on the offensive side of the ball, but it looks like Hopkins is a good defensive team as well. And GFA is going to try to break that barrier a little bit, try to find some way to move in. We've seen good strategies from GFA in both teams, both the girls and the guys teams. It looks like the major strategy that both teams like to use is the cut and run, as I like to call it, and where you have one player who cuts into the middle of the field, and you have that player kind of go, and you have another player going either around the end of around the basket, the net, or on the perimeter, and that they pass to that person. They have a quick pass and shoot, and that usually confuses the goalie. They're able to score.
As there's a long shot by Yates. There we go. We were talking about just that. As he trucks his own teammate on the celebration. I don't think he cares about that one, though. I think the goal hurt the Hilltoppers a lot more than that check into his own teammate. Fired up about that one, and there you go. We were just talking about it. The penalty comes to the GFA's advantage. Put goal number 8 on the board.
Wow. I mean, that was a long shot. We were just talking about his ability to shoot from way deep, and you see that right there. You see him gearing up. The sidearm shot, the side stick shot, bounces right into the goal, and that's why he's such a premier defender who can also score on this team. He's just an all-around fantastic player. GFA's happy to have him back.
The face-off coming here now. From what I do know, the Dragons did come out to, I believe, an early 3-goal lead in this one. There's a nice face-off. And I believe this one is going, yes, this one, they go to the Hilltoppers on a violation in the center circle. So now Hopkins trying to find their way back into the game now, down 3. They've got a lot of time, Isaac, especially with the way these games go. You can score so rapidly. We'll see,
Absolutely.
but you can tell this is a big game, especially for the Dragons. Their intensity, their energy is through the roof right now.
Absolutely, yeah, they're really looking forward to this game. We're really looking forward to this game, and they're playing their hearts out right now. They have a good test here. This looks like a good offensive setup, and looks like we'll see how their defense stands tall here.
Looking for an angle to shoot it. Nice check. Out in the back, though, as this one's flung out a shot that did not go where he wanted it to go. I believe yes, Hopkins is going to get this one back. As the referee calls for more balls on the sideline, definitely want to have those to speed up play. Now passing it around. You can see GFA, nice defensive shape so far. But so far, Girls has not been tested in net. But again, the quarter's still young.
Absolutely.
Getting physical here with a few big checks. Haven't seen that all season.
Yeah, and looks like this game's a lot more physical than the games we've covered, especially from what I've heard from fans on the sidelines and other players, other people at the game right now, is that this is a tightly contested game. Both teams kind of a bit of a they're both physical teams, and they're kind of playing it out in the field, and refs kind of letting that happen too, seeing who comes out on top, kind of settling it themselves. But that seems to not doesn't seem to really have an effect on the scoreboard because it's a pretty high scoring game so far. And so we'll see how this kind of physicality plays into their defensive ability, who's able to make that really good defensive play later on and really help out their team. We'll see how that works.
Now behind the net, trying to find some way through, speeding up a bit. He's met with some resistance as he goes a long way by himself, fires it back to the top. All passed outside, still working the perimeter. And the Hilltoppers set up pretty good right now on defense. Now looking to go through, pass to the top. Good defensive shape. A lot of pressure being played. Almost like a high-press defense here for Hopkins.
Absolutely. I mean, when they're down by 3 and they're in the third quarter, so they have time, but you definitely don't want to have that 3 turn into 4 or turn into 5. And so you want to show GFA that your defense can stand tall even though they're in a 3-goal deficit.
There's another goal. It's Edelman, again, using that height to his advantage. I mean, he could put that stick up higher than anybody on the field, and he goes ahead and gets a goal because of that.
Absolutely. We've seen it in basketball, how he's just able to dominate because of his height. And on lacrosse, same difference, same deal. He really is able to reach up, get the ball, keep it in his stick, and just fling it down at high speed and just past the goal. There's not much you can do there if you're defense, and not much you can do there if you're the goalkeeper. Wow, fantastic goal. And now GFA's up by 4 and looking like they want to increase that lead.
Absolutely, and Hopkins has absolutely no answer for the Dragons right now. They're red hot. But again, it all starts with a face-off. We'll see who wins this one. Crucial face-off coming up for sure. This one's flipped up and won by the Hilltoppers. So now they're get back to work on offense. But this has been a barrage of unanswered goals right now for the Dragons, at least this quarter.
Come on, Aiden! Good job, Aiden!
Flinging this back to the neutral zone. Now passing it around. Making some contact as he gets around, trying to find somebody inside. Takes a quick shot. That one is off the mark. And this one's going to go back to Hopkins. Got 6 minutes and 57 seconds left. Again, that's a lot of time to work with, especially when you just have 2 more quarters to go after.
Absolutely,
1 more quarter to go after that. Yeah,
you don't want to rush here if you're Hopkins. You don't want to take poorly advised shots or shots that could lead to turnovers and points for GFA down the other end. But you don't want to dawdle either. You want to make sure you have a good play in mind, you have a good scheme in mind, and you want to make sure that you execute it. That starts with good communication, good movement off of the ball, and knowing exactly where your man is going to be at each and every point in the play. And that's how you're able to score those quick goals and 1-2 punch goals that we've seen all season long.
Takes that. What a great kick save and net by Grills. Stopping that one. Bounced in front of him, and a nice reaction save. They keep that one out of the net as now the Hilltoppers look to try to get around some contact. Ball's on the ground. Will this be a turnover? Not yet. Now it's scooped up by the Dragons. Have to get out of their own zone, though, as they're met with lots of resistance. That one's slashed out. But the Dragons able to scoop this one up. We'll see if they can get out of their own defensive zone as they fling this one across. Oh, man, bobbled the pass. This could be a big turnover, and it will be. The Hilltoppers pick this one up. Now trying to go, and a great save by Grills. No penalty called by the referee either. Clean play, and there we go. And there's a flag.
There's the
we'll
penalty.
see if it's delayed on the shot or if it's on for something else.
That was a very physical
It was. Well, we'll
series.
see. We'll see
and
where
you
it was.
see Krizan shaking up on his right knee. He has a bandage on that,
It's
so
the
hopefully
knee that
he's okay.
He has the bandage on. Well, we'll see if he's okay. Definitely a great defenseman who plays with a lot of energy and physicality for sure.
Absolutely. And you know from soccer how great of a defenseman he is in that sport, and he carries that intensity into lacrosse, and he's definitely a fantastic senior defender and a great veteran on the team as well. So hopefully he's okay. Looks like he's walking gingerly on the leg, but under his own power, which is...
with some help, though.
With some help. So hopefully he's okay. But fantastic series of saves by Jack Grills in net, and really keeping out 2 really good shots, and which would have been goals, or could have potentially been goals. And that's why he's so clutch in these late game situations when you really need him. When the defense can't stop an attack, when Hopkins or any other team just rushes to the net and they just can't get any answer for them on defense, Jack Grills is there to stop that play from happening, to stop that goal and stop that momentum swing. And he's going to have to face another challenge here. Hopkins is getting set up and they're fiery. They want that goal. They want to get it back as quick as possible. And he's going to need to save it here, which he does.
Nice job of pounce on that one as it was loose in front of the crease. Definitely a dangerous place for it to be loose.
Absolutely. Good awareness to just pounce on that quickly as possible.
As this ball goes into the attacking zone, but it's picked up by Hopkins. There's a slash. Couldn't get that ball out, though. As there's a nice play to slash that one out. Picked up by Hopkins, though. And GFA continuing to apply pressure in nice defensive shape. Once again, they've looked good on defense so far. As that one almost tipped away. Picked up at midfield. Taking their time now. Again, trying to find a hole through. Passing it behind the net now. Now trying to get around. There's a nice play. Passing it inside. Takes the shot, and that one is through. A great shot there by the Hilltoppers. Puts that one in. And that's the end of the unanswered goal spree for GFA as they put goal number 6 on the board now. Hopkins down by 3.
And we've seen this strategy used by GFA and other teams to score those quick goals. The quick 1-2 punch. You have good passing along the perimeter. It all starts with communication. You have good passing around the perimeter. You communicate with your team. You know exactly where they're going to be at any given point. You have someone crash in the middle. You pass it to them. It's on point, and they're able to make a quick shot and goal. And GFA's got to look out for that. They got to make sure they have some sort of a way to manage that. Could be with a zone defense scheme. Take away the middle so they have to take tougher shots along the perimeter, or like tighter defense and better tracking. We'll see what happens, and we'll see how if Krizan can come back into the game after that injury. But GFA's up. They're up by 3. Obviously a good spot. Could have been better in their mind because they just let up a goal. But we'll see how they respond to that and try to increase that lead and put that final nail in the coffin for their team.
We can't say nail in the coffin yet. We got a lot of time left.
Right.
16 minutes to be exact. And that's a lot of time, especially when Rye Country Day scored 3 goals in a minute and 30 seconds.
Right. So you gotta stay vigilant, but having that, increasing that lead and increasing that cushion definitely helps to put the pressure off of your defense, or to take it a bit off and allow them to do what they do best.
Still trying to pass it around here. Again, met with a lot of resistance. There's a nice check. Some separation, takes that shot, and it's in. Just needed a little bit of separation and put that one through. A great shot. And there we go. You can see how quickly games like this can change. It's now a 2-goal game just like that.
Absolutely. In under 2 minutes, the deficit shrunk from 4 to 2. It got struck in half. And now it's a completely different look for this team and a completely different game. GFA's kind of on their heels a little bit defensively, and Hopkins, they have the momentum, and they're starting to get going with their offense. And that's definitely spelling, it's definitely good news from their team, especially they were down by 4. Now they're only down by 2. Couple another quick goals like this, and they're right back in it. It'll be tied.
Well, they've gained traction now. They've straightened out the steering wheel. Let's see if they can push the gas pedal and get goal number 3. Face-off comes out.
I think it's the record for the amount of car analogies and metaphors you can use in one sentence.
The Dragons win this face-off, though, and we'll see if they can get back to work. Their first big offensive opportunity since their last goal. That felt so long ago at this point, after giving up 2 straight goals.
Exactly. This is a good, very big offensive drive to make sure that you can try to increase that cushion and steal back a little bit of momentum, make sure that Hopkins just doesn't run away with that and gets confidence and gets traction. So you want to make sure you maintain the ball here. That's really key. Ball control, consistency in your passes, and finding that one good shot, taking it. Even if you don't score, draining the clock is also helpful.
With that pass just a little bit too high, the goalie taking a long way out, here's a turnover. We'll see if they can make the most of it. Couldn't shoot it at the open goal, but a nice job. Still has it. Now behind the goal, trying to look for a teammate. Has to work fast, though. Now giving his team some time to set up. Takes around the goal, takes that shot, and a nice save in net.
Fantastic shot, fantastic save.
Absolutely. Going around the goal, it's a bold individual move, but when it pays off big time.
Right. We see the girls do it a lot with Almeida. That's kind of her favorite spot, to that wraparound goal. Haven't seen it that much on the guys' team, especially since you get hit a lot more if you try to do that. But
and how does Edelman still have the ball?
Wow.
Unbelievable. He's able to keep that in his stick. As he takes that shot, and it deflects off. The Dragons will get this one back.
This is fantastic for GFA. They're putting the pressure. They're draining the time. They are saying, hey, we have the ability to score here. We just have to keep pounding away at it, keep hammering away at it, and eventually they could get that goal if they keep up that time of possession.
This one's in the slot, trying to pick it up. Nice check. It's on the ground, and it is going to be picked up by the Hilltoppers, as now there's some contact. Trying to get this one up. They have it. Will they take the shot? Off the post. Couldn't quite put that one in the open net. It's a tough shot with a lot of people around. And there is a nice play to get the ball back. They're right back to work on offense after the turnover, as this one's put inside. It's Edwards trying to work here. They've got a minute and 14 seconds to work with. We'll see if they can put another one on the board in this attack, but we'll see how much time they want to take off the clock before they go ahead and try to put another goal up there. Now in the final minute. Now starts his attack. They weren't ready for him to take the ball up himself, as he takes that shot just wide, and the Dragons will get this one back. They've got 48 seconds to work with now.
They're putting on the pressure, and that's very good for them. They have the offense. They have that ball in the offensive zone for a while. They're racking up that time of possession, and we've seen it countless times. Whoever has that time of possession, they often get goals because they just have the ball more. And a good offense is sometimes your best defense. And this is really good for just taking that kind of momentum away from the Hopkins offense and making sure that they just don't have an opportunity to try to use their confidence to score.
Oh, he tried the behind the back shot. Didn't work. But the Dragons will get it back. Definitely would have been really, really amazing if he made that play. It would have been really pretty as they circle around the goal, trying to find some space. They've got 15 seconds to work with. It's popped up. They try to roll it in, and they do! They got the goal on the roll in. It's Edwards with the goal. Put that one through. They all count, folks. And that one definitely does put number 10 up on the board. It was loose. They went ahead and they just rolled that one in with the back of the stick.
That's almost like a deflection goal in hockey where it just barely bounces off or just dribbles into the net, but it works. Any goal's a goal, and Thomas Edwards able to just get enough of the ball there, enough of the ball with his stick, and just have it slide in. And now GFA has that momentum back. They're really making sure that Hopkins just doesn't have an offensive opportunity to try to, get those points back and really use what kind of confidence they have right now. Up by 3, 10-7. This is shaping up to be a great game.
They better be on their heels here as there's a flag. But I think that let's see, they're going to call it. We'll see if they put time back on the clock. Let's see. I was about to say they have to be careful here. Oh, it looks like 2 players are going to be gone for GFA. We'll see. I mean, I don't think if they keep that 1 up there on the clock, it does not matter. But
right, I think it looks like they're keeping the.
Yeah, they are. Looks like they're keeping that time off. So GFA did milk it a little bit, but they had 10 seconds. That was more than enough time to take. I mean, we've seen the face-off man take it all the way down and score.
Absolutely. So if it was 10 seconds, it'd be one thing, but it is 1.
So it's 1 second. Quarter number 3 comes to a close. Had some pretty good action. But the scoreline stays 10-7 in favor of the Dragons.
And GFA able to stave off a comeback attempt by Hopkins.
At least so far.
At least so far, yeah. Can't count them out yet. But they're able to stave that off a little bit, and that's really a product of really great defense from Jack Grills in the net, and then a really, really strong offensive attack where they just kept the pressure on. They did not let up. They had a couple of close calls with the turnovers, but they were able to get them right back, and then able to march down the field and in a really methodical drive, just keep passing and passing and passing, and then with the dribble-in goal off of Edwards, that kind of nailed that drive in, that sealed that drive. And it's a 10-7 game, up by 3, definitely a good position, definitely not the safest position, especially in a game where you can score 3 goals in less than a minute potentially. So they look to increase that lead, and for Hopkins, they had something going on offense. It was just stymied by a really good GFA attack and really good GFA defense too. So they just going to try to keep doing what they're doing, maybe some couple of more adjustments just to try to increase that their ability to score and put themselves in a good position.
Well, GFA scored a lot of goals, so has Hopkins. 17 goals altogether, and we're not even done with the whole game yet. So we got a whole 12-minute quarter to go. The 4th and final quarter. This is going to be fun. It's anybody's game, even though GFA's up by 3. In Lacrosse, you can score so quickly. I mean, we may be looking at a 3-goal lead for Hopkins in a matter of 6 minutes if things go their way.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it could score. You can score so quickly in this game, and it's really, really something to see.
But it all starts in the center circle. This face-off crucial because one offensive attack early and an early goal for both teams could really sway the tide.
Absolutely.
So I'll put 12 minutes on the clock here as we're just waiting for. I don't think there is going to be face-off, actually. I think it's the penalty.
Oh, right, yeah. There was a penalty called.
And I don't think that, I believe GFA are 2 players down now. So this is a massive opportunity for Hopkins to trim this lead down to 2.
Yeah, GFA's defense got to stay vigilant here. They want to make sure that they hold down the fort with less than an ideal number of men. But Hopkins is a perfect opportunity to get a relatively easy goal. I put easy in quotation marks because no goal is easy. But this one's a good opportunity for them to tighten that lead and to gain momentum as well.
They take that shot and it's in. A long shot skip past Grills. And there it is. There's the goal that they definitely needed. Now down 2, and they've got a lot of time to work with. GFA definitely has to be on their heels. But we'll see if their offense can keep possession in their own end for long enough. But Here come the Hilltoppers. And a face-off here for Hopkins could put them in business, possibly trim this lead in half. Definitely a game of momentum, and it's changing hands very, very fast. Fastest I've seen in any game, and I've done a lot of games. This one is on the ground. Let's see. It's a scuffle for it, and where's this going? And it's going to Hopkins. So they get the face-off, they get the offensive opportunity, and now it's about putting one in the net. They have to be careful from behind. Has a slash. And be able to take the ball back. Finds a teammate. But they're one shot away from being 1 goal down. Boy, did that penalty help.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you look at their ferocity right now, and just it looks like they just have so much more momentum. And
there it is! Goal number 9. As now they're making a march for the comeback here. They were able to stave off Hilltoppers for that third quarter, but not right now. They're coming, and they're coming with a purpose. This is 2 unanswered goals, and we'll see if they can tie it up. It takes 1 face-off win, and they've got the opportunity. They certainly didn't put their heads down after that goal before halftime.
No, absolutely. They're sticking with it. They're staying with their strategy. They say, hey, we know what we're doing well, and we know what we need to improve on. And we're working on what we do well, and we're just kind of increasing on that, working what we need to work on. And now it seems to be working to the tune of 9 goals scored, and they're just down by 1 now. And all of a sudden, that 3-goal lead turns into a 1-goal lead.
Hopkins have won another face-off. And this is huge. Gives them the opportunity to go ahead with the momentum and with a full head of steam to try to tie this game up. As that pass, will he be able to save it? Yes, he will. Nice job to save that one from going out of bounds and keep the ball for his team. Now he's behind the goal. Could be looking at a shot. This one is up and pounced on by Grills.
Good save by Jack Grills, making sure that they're not able to tie it up there, and gives GFA a little breather here, breath of fresh air, and allows them to get to work on offense.
Had to be careful, and there's a big turnover. Will they be able to take it into the offensive zone? They will. He finds a teammate, wide open, nice pass. Oh, it's a miscommunication. There's a goal, they've tied it up. A miscommunication on defense led to a wide open lane.
I was looking at that and I'm like, wait, no, the play must have been blown dead. Why is no one following him? And that's just a massive miscommunication on defense and led to a goal. It's 10-10, all square here on the Dragons' courtyard.
They tied it up, 3 unanswered goals. And
Wow.
what did I say? This has been 2 minutes, 3 goals in under 2 minutes. Minute and 45 seconds for all 3 of these. That just shows you how fast these games can change.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, just lightning quick. You blink and you miss it, really. They're just able to score 3 goals in 3 minutes, as you said. And
well under.
Yeah, under 3 minutes.
How about half that?
And it's 10-10, and they have all the momentum, and they win another face-off.
We'll see. Are they calling this one back? This one is going to go to the Dragons. So they'll finally win a face-off, and we'll see if they can get into the offensive zone. Here come the Dragons. We'll see if they can respond. As this one's on the ground, fighting for it. And the Hilltoppers will pick this one up. Still on the ground, and looks like he lost his stick. Fighting for it, comes loose, and Hopkins is going to pick this one up. It's on the ground again, though. Still popping up around. Who will take care of this one? Looks like Hopkins will for the moment. Flag comes out. We'll see who this is on.
Is GFA back at full strength yet, or
I believe they are.
Penalty still going?
I believe they are, yes.
But this is a very important drive for GFA, just to try to increase that, well, no longer a lead, but try to get back that lead. Also establish themselves offensively and really try out new schemes and try out new plays, because they're on their heels a little bit in this game, especially lately because of Hopkins' tremendous comeback. And so they're definitely looking to create that lead and get that lead back and establish some confidence and establish a really good series, at least, even if they don't score, to try to say, okay, we know what we do well. We know exactly what we need to do here. We'll hammer away at it. We'll maintain time possession. I think time possession is a key in this game because, as you see, when Hopkins wins in the faceoff circle and they control the game offensively, it often leads to a goal. And we'll see how GFA is able to respond to that.
Well, passing it behind the net, we'll see if they can respond. Firing it in the middle. There's the goal. He's put it in. They have scored. They've taken the lead. They've got 9 minutes to go. There's still a lot of time. But there it is. Definitely a big momentum booster for the Dragons. They're able to score again, take back this lead. And this is going to get fun if this pace continues like this, back and forth for sure.
Oh, this is shaping up to be a fantastic game for the rest of the half that we're seeing. And that was a fantastic goal by Bodie, and really great 1-2 punch. Cutting into the center of the field, quick pass, quick shoot. We've seen it all the time from the girls, and we've seen it a little bit here in the boys' game, and it works like a charm each and every time when you're able to do it right and you have a good game plan going. It all starts with great communication, good ball control, and knowing exactly where your man's going to be at each and every point in that play. And they're able to get it done there. GFA reclaims the lead, and if they can get this, they're not able to get the face-off back, but now it's time to shore up on defense and to show that they can stop Hopkins and get that ball right back.
You can see now the pace of both teams have just increased as that time on the clock keeps ticking. But we may be seeing overtime here.
We might. That would
be very, very interesting. Guess it would make up for
cherry
the
on
missed
top.
first quarter.
To all you viewers at home, that definitely would. So I bet you're hoping for some overtime here. We are too. It's been a fantastic game, and overtime would just be that cherry on top.
So the Dragons will get this one back. This is a big, big time opportunity for the Dragons to take a 2-goal lead if they can find a hole, and that's despite what the score line has said, finding a hole has not been too easy.
Yeah, it's been this kind of weird mix of, there's been a lot of goals, but each and every one of them has been hard fought. There hasn't been really any easy goal or really any goal that's been scored off an error except for that blown coverage by GFA a couple of minutes ago. But they've all been really hard fought, and they've all been really a tribute to their offensive prowess instead of a miscommunication or a mishap on defense. And that's really been the story of this game. Two evenly matched teams going at it in two really high-powered offenses, showcasing their ability. And that's really I think that's what's going to come down to. Which defense can make that final stop that kind of seals this one towards the later end of the game. We'll see.
As they're flinging this one behind the net now. Hopkins a little bit close together on that coverage, but they're spreading out now. Still moving it around. No one's cutting in just yet as they fling this one the other way. Takes a long shot. No, just off the mark. But the Dragons will get this one back. Got 8 minutes and 35 seconds to work with. So again, a lot of time for both teams. They're working behind the net now. Takes a long shot. That one is a great save again. Off the shin, though, that one definitely has to hurt. Another reason why you'd think that they'd wear some kind of knee pads on the legs, but no.
Absolutely, especially if you're a goalie.
There's a long shot. Another save. That one lost some speed on the bounce, but it was still pretty powerful. A good save in net. Find someone wide open in the middle of the field, and now the Hilltoppers look to respond on offense. Flips it to a teammate. Almost was able to get that one away, but Hilltoppers able to come into the offensive zone, take care of their opportunity now. Substitution as Edwards comes back on. Nice job on the outside by McDonald. Some nice defensive positioning, slashing for it, not allowing him any leverage as he puts that one in. A nice Nice interception as they're able to pick it back up, back down the grills, and a great series on defense for the Dragons as this one's put in. A great catch. Taking some contact, finds Edwards outside as this one's up in the air and is going to be picked up by the Dragons. Have to be careful from behind. There's a flag coming out for the hit for sure. I agree with that call 100%.
Absolutely, yeah, that was a hit.
Definitely
from
a dangerous
behind.
play.
Absolutely. There's been a couple of injuries on GFA from those kinds of hits. Those hits from behind, head injuries, and other body injuries too. It's a really dangerous hit, and as a ref, you want to make sure the health and safety of the players is first and foremost. And you just can't allow something like that. Someone could have gotten injured. I want to go back, though, to that really great defensive series from GFA and how important that was. You have Hopkins coming back after that. The GFA, or Sebi Bodian, breaks the ice with his goal a couple minutes ago. And they're trying to respond, but GFA able to maintain, able to stand strong there. They're not giving up any goals there. They didn't give up anything there. And that is big because you've seen how quickly Hopkins can score. You want to make sure you're able to maintain that and, stay stout on defense, especially with a roaring team, as they had a full head of steam coming into the offensive zone.
Pass this one behind the net. No space for a shot, although probably was looking for one. Still passing it around the perimeter. Puts this one in, deflects off, and are they able to get it? They are. Save this one from going past midfield. Finds the teammate outside, now behind the net. Maybe this would be a good time for a timeout for GFA.
Might be, yeah. You have possession, but you don't really have a good look.
Oh, that one's off the side of the net. Thought I spoke too soon about that timeout, but there's an interception, and they have scored! There's goal number 2 on their lead, and a big-time interception and take by Bodian to put them up 12-10. And boy, did they need that one.
Wow, what a momentum booster. What a swing.
That's why I'm not in the coaching box. I'm in the broadcast booth. No timeout there.
No
they got the goal.
Needed. Wow, I mean, just a heads-up play by Sebastian Bodian, crashing into the center of the field, intercepts the ball, and then quick shot straight down into the back of the net. That's his second goal so far on the stream. And I don't even know if he scored in the first half or not. We'd have to get stats on that, but he's having a day so far. 2 goals scored by him, and those are the 2 ice-breaking or tie-breaking goals so far. And that's putting GFA in a fantastic spot, taking the pressure off the defense, and now they can work with that offensively.
Nice juke move as with the face-off one. We'll see. Puts this one in. Oh, just a little bit high. Are they able to take it? Yates saves this one from going out. They put this one behind the net. They're working with some speed, and a timeout is called. So a timeout called, but GFA has put the big goal number 2. And you can see just how fired up the whole team got with that second goal.
Absolutely, yeah. They look like to them, looking at it, looked like they were going to get ready on defense, make sure they had a stop on defense, and Hopkins kind of came roaring back. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, Sebi Bodian crashes into the center, picks up the ball, intercepts it, and then scores on his own. I mean, really fantastic individual effort. You can see how crazy the bench went. They did not think that was going to happen. That was not, obviously not planned, but that was not in some sort of playbook or some sort of script. And really just
individual effort.
Individual effort. And you'd love to see that if you're on the team. And team goals are awesome, but individual efforts, when you really need them, when you really need them to come clutch, are so great. And we see exactly that there. They're super fired up about it. And Bodian getting his second goal on a GSPN broadcast of today. And he's fired up about it too, I'd imagine.
Definitely in terms of home games, his best game of the season by far. Making such an impact in this game right now. Making some big time plays. And we'll see what adjustments Hopkins made with their timeouts. You can, another thing you have to note, remember that for girls game, you can see how much a timeout can really help a team.
Right. Absolutely, that's something you do want to look out for, and either team could be helped out with this timeout. GFA could come roaring with another couple set of goals, or Hopkins, we've seen it, they could come roaring back and take the lead or even increase that lead if they get it. And so we'll see exactly what happens here. But GFA has the ball in Hopkins' defensive zone, and they're looking to work with that offensively.
Looks like they'll have a reset. Play is resumed as this one's passed behind the net. Now going around the other way. Gives it back to Haas. Still working around. We approach the final 5 minutes of this one. And it's been a good one. As we put this one behind the net. Now outside. A lot of off-the-ball movement here. They definitely will need it. Hopkins looks like they're in pretty good shape defensively. It's playing so tight and aggressively. Now they come behind the net. Just trying to find a lane for a shot. Not allowing that right now. They put this one in. It's bounced. A dangerous pass picked up. No one making that cut in as this one goes through the legs. Picked up by Hopkins. Will they get out of their own defensive end? Taking some hits. Nice flip behind the back. It's on the ground, though, and picked up by the Dragons. Could this be the third goal? Take some contact. Flag pulled out by the referee. Put inside. Now picked up by Edwards. So delayed penalty on the way right now with a flag on the ground. Looks like 2 flags are on the ground. We'll see if it's for the same penalty. So Hopkins can't touch this ball right now. The minute they touch it, the penalty is in effect.
It's like a free play for GFA. They want to make sure that they make the most out of this. Or they don't make sure, but they do want to try to get this one. It's a free play, see what they can do.
Free offensive drive, as this one's now put behind the net. Able to pick it up.
Makes sense that they're taking their time, too. Time is on their side right now. They want to make sure that they, if they do score a goal, it's with the least amount of time left on the clock possible, and if they don't, they want to be happy that they drain that
There's
clock.
the shot. That one is off, and now I think the penalty will come into effect, or maybe not. Oh, it looks like the flag's still on the ground, so it looks like we'll have to see whenever they touch it. Got 3 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. I think they're picking up the flags now, so yes, it will come into play. A little bit of confusion on the sidelines, but nevertheless, the Dragons will get the ball back. We'll see. I mean, on this possession, yes, a third goal is definitely could help them, but I think it's also about taking some time off the clock, too.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd 100% agree. It's really a battle of the two. If you can't get the goal, take time off, or do both at the same time. If you can do both, that's perfect. If you can only get one, get the time off the clock. They don't want to score a quick goal. They want to make sure they pass it around, really drain that clock as much as possible.
That one's out of bounds. And Hopkins will take this one up. They pass this one down, and it's just not sure what the I don't know what the reason was to fling it all the way down, but having trouble picking this one up as they tumble down. And let's see, I think Hopkins will have it despite the weird sort of hockey-style dump-in pass. They're able to get it on a violation. So Hopkins will get this one back here, only down by 2, and got a lot of time to work with. This is the opportunity that they really wanted in order to get back into this game and find their footing once again. Absolutely. They take some contact. Flinging this one in. The time is not on Hopkins' side in terms of actual time, and there's a game time, but with scoring time, if they score here, they're in good shape. As there's a shot just over the net. was so close. Thought that might find its way into the top corner. But Grills was in pretty good position.
Right. He looked like he was in good position, and he has the height to save that in that top right corner. But yeah, it looked like a good shot and looked like it had a nice curve to it as well. But allows them to regroup here. And
that went in, and they have scored. That's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Hilltoppers, as they're now down by 1 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. That's more than enough time for another goal, or maybe 2.
Right, yeah, and that was big. They needed to get a goal on that offensive possession. They were kind of sputtering a bit offensively. And now that they have that, down by 1, and it's a whole different outlook for them now. They have that momentum, they have that confidence, and they can really run with that and score that goal and beyond, and score that, tying goal and beyond. And GFA wants to make sure they remain stout on defense and see what they can do offensively to make sure that doesn't happen. But really fantastic goal for Hopkins, and we'll see if GFA is able to respond.
As this one is another win by Hopkins. So let's see if they can put the tying goal on the board. Looks like a stoppage of play by the ref. It is going to be a timeout taken by Hopkins to go over some strategy here.
Smart timeout.
I agree. You can get a play together so they can try to put this tying goal on the board. Again, they got a lot of time to work with, but if GFA takes an offensive possession, that could be bad news.
Absolutely. So for Hopkins, you don't want GFA to take an offensive possession because they can drain the clock a minute or even all 2 minutes if they really want to. And you want to make sure that you maintain possession. Ball control is absolutely key. That's the fundamental that you need to keep. And then on top of that, you want to make sure you have a good play in order, because with this little time left, it's almost like the 2-minute drill in football. You want to make sure you have a good play, and you want to make sure you act quick. You don't hurry, but you act quick. And you have to know exactly where you need to be at any given moment with that play, and you need to know exactly where your partners, where your teammates are going to be at any given moment so that you can pass it to them, find them in the correct location, and then they just can score on a really quick 1-2 punch goal that we've seen. So we'll see what Hopkins going to drop for that. They've really been matching GFA, just slightly under them right now, and GFA is been able to come away with some leads and come away with some substantial cushions, but now they're only up by 1, and Hopkins is definitely within striking distance. And all it takes is having one good play, one good strategy against GFA's defense, and then execute it well, and that can be a goal.
Well, look, they have one play. We'll see if it's a good one, and we'll see if it works. They've got under 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, I'd say time is valuable in bunches of about 20 or 30 seconds.
Right.
Is what I'd say.
Yeah, the Bills are 20s and 30s, so want to make sure that anything you do is within those 20 and 30 seconds. You want to make sure you act quick on this drive, and that's exactly what they're doing.
As the turnover, will they be able to pick it up on the ground? The Dragons able to pick it up. Guess who? It's Bodian. Are they calling a violation? We'll see. Is Hopkins going to get this ball back after all? I think they are. It's a big break for the Hilltoppers here.
That's
and Hopkins
huge.
are in good shape. They get it back once again. They fling it down, and there we go. I mean, some time off the clock for sure as we're approaching the final 2 minutes of this one. We got 2 minutes and 5 seconds, but they'll take the ball back just the same.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's not that much time off the clock. They have about 2 minutes and 5 seconds left, and that's plenty of time to work with, especially get that goal that they need to tie it up, and then they can start to act, have a normal pace on offense to try either get a lead going in towards the final seconds of the game, or stick with overtime.
And there's a shot. Oh, just off the mark. Picked up by the Dragons, and here they come. Fling this one outside. Oh, a late hit. There's the flag. There's a horrible late hit. Bad sportsmanship. This will be the definition of bad sportsmanship. The Dragons are going to get this penalty, though, and this really does not work for Hopkins, as now they can just take their time. Groen waved bye-bye to the defender that he just threw to the ground. And the time is just ticking off the clock, and Hopkins can't touch the ball.
Absolutely. That was just a very poor choice, very bad choice for that late hit. A, it's dangerous to the player, and B, you're just putting your team in a hole. You have a penalty, and now GFA can waste as much time as they want. They're getting close to the 1 minute mark, and really you're just putting your team in a really bad spot. Just awful choice.
Yeah, they are. Puts them in a nice snag. Almost looked like he would miss it, but then again, it doesn't matter. You have the penalty, so whatever.
Absolutely, yeah. Takes that pressure off. Now they can just waste as much time as they need to or they want to.
That's exactly what they're doing. Hopkins can't take it. He takes that shot, a nice save. Although you don't want to shoot. As this one is going back to the Dragons, we'll see. Timeout call by the Dragons. But they will. Well, let's see. Is the referee allowing it? I think he is. They've got 30 seconds to go.
Up by 1, and
they'll get the ball back. Now you see
the ball back. Now that's a good position.
That shot really derailed the whole strategy there. I'm confused. I mean, of course, the goal is good.
Right.
And it helps your team, but I think running around with the ball, milking that clock would do a lot more than scoring the goal. That way, you really make sure that they don't have enough time to score.
I agree. I think it was a thing of really you see like a lane to shoot and you want to just take the shot. But in that situation, you just wanted to drain as much clock as possible. Pass it around, and I know he was kind of surrounded by 2, maybe 3 Hopkins players. Still, you want to make sure you find a teammate to pass it out to, and that way you maintain possession and just drain that clock and really make Hopkins pay for that late hit on one of your teammates. But GFA has the ball. They'll have it for about 33 seconds if they are able to maintain possession. And really, they don't need to score a goal. They're up by 1. And really, the strategy shouldn't be shoot the shot. You should, if you have a wide open shot, obviously take it. But we see how quickly you can score back-to-back goals in this game. And if you give the Hopkins that opportunity, they can make you pay. And 33 seconds is not that little amount of time. It's a decent amount of time to score a goal, especially if you act quickly, if you're Hopkins. So GFA strategy, and I'm sure they're talking about this in the huddle right now, maintain possession, pass it around, drain out the game that way.
You guys are really good at this.
Thank you so much.
Really good.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Like, hopefully this will be your career going forward. Like, it's flawless. Really.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Actually, I heard you guys when I was watching the film on GFA earlier. I forget who you were playing. Oh, it was Rye Country Day. I think you guys did that.
That was a good game.
That was really good. Really good.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Come on, Blue!
So GFA has 33 seconds to burn off the clock here. We'll see if they can do it. Penalty did come into effect. That's why they were able to keep the ball. But Hopkins just trying to get a quick turnover. And look, they have some time if they do get the turnover. You don't want to shoot, though. That is a goal. I think that might do it, actually. With the time that's on the clock, there isn't a minute left. They have 17 seconds.
I think that does it. Fantastic goal by McGrone.
You never quite know. I mean,
you can never say game is ended until the final whistle, but 17 seconds and two
goals to go.
That's tough. That'd take a Herculean effort. They can get 1 goal. It's enough time for 1 goal if they act quickly. 2 goals.
Let's see, 2 goals.
That's a bit dicey. But
it is. Well, look, it's going to have to take 2 face-off wins. Now, remember when they were in this spot last time against Rye Country Day? They sat on the ball on the face-off.
Right, yeah.
They sort of pulled the Baltimore Ravens. I think they made that illegal, but they pulled the Baltimore Ravens where you hold and you run at the back of the end zone for a safety. Well, look, he got the ball, flinging it back. They don't have a lot of time to work with. That certainly doesn't help as they're flinging it backside. Has to take a long shot. And a great save by Grills. That will do it as this one's flung back. And there we go. The buzzer sounds. That's the game. A great save by Grills to stand tall, and the Dragons escape. The Dragons den with a win, 13-11. What a fantastic game played by both sides. Unbelievable. What you can see, that penalty is the reason why they lost the game. That late hit on Henry McDonald is the reason why Hopkins might not be headed to overtime.
Right. I mean, that hit kind of sealed Hopkins' fate. They would have, if they didn't make that hit, that really hit out of anger, frustration, they would have been able to regroup on defense, possibly been able to get the turnover, and then set themselves up well offensively. And GFA was able to score another goal there, and that's what sealed the game for them. And Hopkins, if you're Hopkins, you got to make sure going into next week you control your emotions, you control your anger. That's
it
how
has
you
to be
lose a
so
game.
disappointing that such a great game had that as the big deciding factor towards the end of it. A late hit that it's just
Absolutely.
Why do you go ahead and
exactly.
and hit
Why?
late
There's
towards the
no-
end of the game, especially when you're away from the ball? It just makes no sense. There's no reason to do that. Go ahead and save your energy for when you have the
Right.
ball in that last
Absolutely.
opportunity that you probably would have gotten
Right.
because GFA lost the ball
Right, yeah, remember,
down. And
they-
if it
they
wasn't
lost
for
the-
that penalty, they would have had they would have had a whole minute to go ahead and tie up this game.
Absolutely, they had a
and
whole
not put the ball back
Yeah.
in GFA's hands.
Not only would you would have had, it's the difference between having a minute to score 1 goal and 17 seconds to score 2 goals.
But the
and that's a
problem
huge
was that
difference.
they scored off of that right after
Right,
it went
yeah.
out of bounds. They had I think it was 33 seconds.
Yeah, they had
It
33
probably
seconds.
would have been more because GFA was just trying to milk the clock, knowing that they had that. They could make a
Right,
little bit
yeah.
more riskier passes. But they had 33 seconds to work with, and as you can see, if they had if they had double the time that they had going down in their own end, I think they would have gotten a goal
I
with the
think
way
they
that they were
could've. I
playing
think
and
we
the way
would've
they
been
were
headed into
pushing. We
overtime right
definitely
now.
would be headed into overtime. That's just so disappointing for Hopkins, but for GFA, they caught a nice break. They made the most of it. They're
Absolutely.
coming away with a win. You could tell they're very excited about this win. They've played absolutely fantastic, a great team effort, and a great job by them to not put their heads down, especially after that basically ghost through goal that went ahead and tied the game up.
Absolutely. And yeah, they did. They made sure that Hopkins really stuck with it. This was a game of really 2 evenly matched teams and really fast-paced offenses who were able to stick with each other throughout the game. And they both played phenomenally from what we saw in the second half, and really played great lacrosse, and really came down to that one play, that one penalty, and it just shows how Hopkins is a fantastic team. They don't need to play dirty like that, and they don't need to have those late hits and those cheap shots at the other team. It actually hurts their chances of winning. That's going to be something that's going to be talked about in practice for sure. And I think throughout the game also, it was a combination of turnovers and penalties. GFA had a ton of penalties where they were able to slow down offensively and control their defense and able to catch up on the goals and really increase their leads that way.
Well, all in all, a great game. Came down to the wire, and the Dragons able to come out here victorious. Again, they played great. Now, all eyes on Ella Krizan, who did not return to the game. We'll have the injury report for you by next game. We got to hope that he's okay.
Absolutely. He was, had something on that knee, so it looks like it's been banged up before. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully they're just keeping him on the sideline out of precaution.
Maybe it's a
overall
tweak
game.
or
Yeah,
something that
exactly.
really just makes it painful. Hopefully he'll be okay for the next game.
Absolutely.
But boy, this one was a fun one. Again, we're sorry we weren't able to get the first half. We were having some major difficulties with our equipment. But we were able to get it all done for the exciting conclusion. Look, I'd much rather watch the second half than this first half.
Absolutely.
That's not just me being biased. I think the second half was
Second half was
very
better.
entertaining.
And second half was better.
Just in the way that the conclusion went. Well, this has been a lot of fun, Isaac. I'm so happy I was able to go ahead and do this game with you and go live, and we're so happy we were able to share this with all you guys at home. So for now, until next time, we say thank you for tuning in. This has been Charles Cullen and Isaac Moskowitz and everyone at the GSBN crew. We say thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Signing off.